Hi, Ree.
Hi, Yako.
How are you?
Great to be here for our little chat today. How are you
Yeah,
doing?
I'm good. Happy fall today.
It is fall.
Yeah,
Yeah, over here, it's really hot and humid, like it needs to rain. So it doesn't feel like fall today.
right. But seems like tomorrow gonna be temperature going drop. So
Yay, that'll
we'll
be
see.
nice.
Yes. So
That'll
our
especially be nice for your outside classes that you have,
right,
the
right.
fall
Yeah,
weather.
yeah. Our chat might be I'm gonna go out some moment in fall and we're gonna chat.
Oh, that'll be lovely.
Yes.
An
So
outdoors chat.
yes, outdoor chat. So today we come to Yoga Sutra 112, abhyasa vairagya beyond nirodha. These mental modifications are restrained by practice and non-attachment. So since last time, we are talking about the 5 different mental modifications. And so how to control, restrain those mental modification is, they say, practice and non-attachment.
Right. And so practice, let's start with practice. What do you practice? I think they're talking about, when people talk about a practice, we think of this um, outside thing that's kind of outside our daily life or interaction. Like when you go to yoga class, you go out to the yoga class, or when you do a yoga class, say online, it's this separate part of your day, this separate thing. But a practice is really any kind of habitual thing that you do over and over again. Do you drink coffee in the morning?
Yes.
You practice drinking a cup of coffee in the morning. I do too. I practice waking up and making that coffee and then drinking it. And that's my morning practice, really. And I really should consider whether I want to keep that up or not. But
But
I
yes,
have, so I'm just saying that, like, it, we're not just talking about like a physical practice of yoga. These, the practices that you do that help you to harness all of that wavy mind stuff, that seems out of control. You choose which practices benefit you. Like some people need more restorative practices, and some people need very vigorous physical practices. So this statement of through practice is a very open kind of thing, and that's why I'm saying this, because it's not just about just practice hot yoga, or just practice mindfulness, or just anything. It's you once you learn about those mental modifications, right? How the brain kind of operates, you study yourself and you start to look at, oh, how does my doing of this practice affect that aspect of my life? You know, like I
yes.
know, yeah,
So so number 14, like you mentioned, like habitual stuff. And I think your practice quite vigorous or quite the gentle side. But what is the power is repetitive or long time keep doing same things over and over. That's the key, because the 14 say practice becomes firmly grounded when well attended to for a long time without break and in all earnestness.
You know, what I just really understood is that this concept of practice and repetition is
Mm-hmm.
the same way that you rewire the brain. Like, this is modern science now. Modern science knows that if you want to change your behavior or anything that you do, it comes through repetition. I mean, even training in sports, you have to do the move like perfectly, uh, 13 to 25 times for muscle memory to set in, you know, so you don't have to like, okay, my hand is here, my other hand is here, I'm going to swing this, like without all that thinking. It takes 13 to 25 repetitions for that muscle memory to kick in. And same
So
thing with
that's a,
how you think.
I think that's a amateur level. And if you want to do like a professional level, how many times to go like precisely? That's why they repetitive practice every day, right?
Right. Right.
So
So,
practice is
you know,
very powerful.
and it also means many different things. So I once learned this thing. So let me be kind of vague. So I heard from somebody that, you know, oh, I also heard this from you, but in a different way. So the way that you look at somebody when they first come in a room or when you first see that they're in your presence, there's a way of acknowledging that they're there, you know, and what is it you want to communicate to that person? And so if you want to communicate that you love that person and you accept them and like they're always welcome, then the look on your face when you see them is of that. Yako, I see you, you know, I smile, I love you. And even if you enter the room and I can't talk to you because I'm busy with somebody else, I'm gonna have some like, oh, it's a Yako in the middle of my talk, you know, I'm talking over here now. Oh, there's Yako. We're looking over here, you know, but that just that little look. And I utilize that thoughtfully as a practice when I was having lots of family issues that my son was involved in. And all I did was I made a big effort to change the look on my face to always be something positive and welcoming, you know, and it had a huge effect on our relationship and just how he then immediately reacted to me and no words were said. So practices can be anything, really.
Right.
And any little aspect of your life you can view as a practice.
Wow. Yes,
So
every day is practice.
it
Totally.
is. And I
Yes.
think you have to be in a certain place within your life, like not totally stressed out or freaking out about something where you can actually stop and kind of watch yourself move through your day and kind of as a witness look at how do I, you know, interact with people? What are the things that I do? What are the thoughts that I practice about myself? You know, all of these things are up to analyze as a practice.
Yes. And it's a quite long way to practice, because okay, I'm doing well today, but then some moment, something big wave coming, and then started to feel like, oh, and I lost myself, and then okay, practice, wait, come back. And so like to me, like endless practice.
Practice is endless. But what does this mean about, well, I think you hit on what it means for the non-attachment,
Oh,
right?
that's a to me even more difficult. So if something happened, then we're practicing and like so like sometimes detachment and like um totally give up is both kind of like, you know, a little soften a little bit away, but totally two different things, right? So
Right.
sometimes going towards the, oh, give up, no, I can't do it, but actually detachment is not just give up, like, you know, totally different. And that's a big theme for me.
Hmm. Well, I think when you said like, oh, here comes the wave, and then, it's really difficult to practice when you're in the midst of, let's say, one of those life chaos waves, right?
Right,
And
yes.
so it's hard to um, return to your practice then, but doing so, even if you don't feel like it's a successful practice or a good practice, I think that's the thing that you need, that non-attachment is speaking to. You continue the practice without judging your practice, that or yourself as you're going into the practice. And here we are speaking of um, practices that we have chosen, right? Because like I wouldn't want to have um, non-attachment to a behavior that I practice that's poor, that's bad for me. Right, that practice, I want to discontinue that practice and replace it with a practice that would be beneficial for me. Like let's say I eat potato chips every day at 2 o'clock, but potato chips are not healthy for me. So that practice, I don't want to be non-judgmental of, because it's not good for me. But I
Mhm.
do want to replace that with a practice that would be good for me. Like, how about having a healthy snack instead? Or how about, maybe seeing if you could eat a little bigger lunch and then you don't need to have a snack, something like that. But where our physical practices and where our spiritual practices, that I think is where we really need to have a non-attachment, a non-judging going on as we continue to practice.
I feel one distracted, I focus on the other. So like practice distracted, I focus more detachment. Then detachment started distracted, I more focused on the practice. So that kind of both are helping each other. That's what I feel.
They definitely help each other.
Yeah. So
So
it's a big thing.
can you think of an example of when you had to practice detachment, like in your practice? In, let's just do like your physical yoga practice.
So you mean my physical yoga practice distracted? You mean?
when you had to practice non-attachment. So can you come up with an example of practicing non-attachment in your physical yoga practice? What does that look like?
So I leave some expectations. Just I more focus on the breathing, and so it's not, try not to think of, oh, I'm not good at photo bending, or something more big ego or expectations. And I feel those less those ego or expectations, my practice is more richer. That's what I feel. So yeah, it's I feel always this is big theme.
It is. I've noticed when I have injuries and I'm trying to practice, then I have to have some non-attachment, right? And especially if you practice yoga, you have like your great poses, like the poses that you really like to do because you feel strong or you feel flexible, or there's something about a specific pose that just kind of rocks your world. And for me, that has often been plank or chaturanga. I had strong arms and shoulders, but as I've had injuries to my hands, I have to not be attached to that pose because I can't do it. And so I have to, still find ways to practice without that pose, without being attached to having that pose as part of my sun salutation or as part of my practice.
Right. And how do you
And
feel?
Mixed. When I practice and I'm still going, it's mixed because I'm not always successful with the detachment.
Oh, that's always so that's why I feel this practice is never ending, always going. So it's an interesting journey. And sometimes like those both are going together, sometimes open the door. So when I was my teacher's class, and I didn't expect really going to, I had a tight body, and so I didn't expect, but like I just stay in practice. In some moment I was like, ooh, much I never noticed, but like just stay in the practice, and the practice led me to more open up. So like we'll see where we are going. That's the thing.
Oh, well, that's also that statement of we'll see where we're going, is a non-attachment because you don't expect yourself to end up in a particular place, and I
Right.
think that's such good advice for any aspect of your life, specifically aging. As we get older, yeah, we have goals and things that we're doing and directions in life that we're heading, but not grasping onto those daydreams or future dreams allows you to evolve into that space. And also, if something doesn't happen, or if there's a huge change, it's much easier
sometimes,
to deal with the change if you have not attached yourself to that income, that outcome that's not going to come now.
so like practice, including practice to let go.
Mhm.
Okay, so it's today we talk too much, but
Again?
so so next time after I don't see much deeper later on, but today I think it's not much, a little chat, a little medium chat or a big chat, but you know, each this is a big one. So I keep holding these themes to keep going on.
Oh,
So
so we'll talk about this again next week.
no, my life. It's
Oh.
not in a chat.
You'll be continuing with this next week.
No. In my life. So keep going.
Right, in your life.
Yes.
Well, what's coming up on 113?
So we did 114 we are talking about. So, you know, we'll see.
Mm.
It's surprise. Okay, Ree, have a nice day.
You too, Yako. Great chatting
Happy
with you.
fall. Bye.
All equinox. Bye-bye.